On this channel, I love to suffer and push myself through experimental challenges, and what could be more challenging than giving up carbs? Though really, this is going to be a tough one. The keto diet offers a host of benefits such as weight loss, reduced insulin levels, lowering blood pressure, and even helping with acne. But I'm not interested in any of that. I'm after the cognitive benefits as well as the reduced inflammation that you're supposed to experience from being in a ketogenic state. So for the next 7 days, I'll be tracking my journey into ketosis as well as sharing my transformation as I forgo life's forbidden fruits. Potatoes, veggies, and the rest of them. So here we have it, the first meal for the week of keto. I've got eggs, avocados, spinach and tomato, which have very little carbohydrates, and bacon. A pretty standard breakfast, to be honest, just no sourdough, and I'm so hungry I'm gonna have to dive right in. So while I tuck into breakfast, let's learn a little bit more about the keto diet. The keto diet is a nutrition plan where you restrict your carbohydrates to less than 50 grams of net carbs per day. Net carbs refer to digestible carbs, so you can subtract the carbs which come from fiber as they are not absorbed by the body. After the 50 grams of carbs, the majority of your calories are coming from fat, roughly around 70%, and the rest is protein. So that's breakfast done. It was actually pretty enjoyable. The only thing that was missing was the crunch you get from toast. Like, am I gonna be missing the crunch all week? I'm also not really sure what I'm gonna be eating this week, so I was struggling to find like a keto meal plan online that was around 3,000 calories. So I think it's gonna be a lot of freestyling this week, and yeah, I'm intrigued to see what I end up eating. Day one went pretty smoothly. I spent the majority of the day discovering that everything has carbs in it. Even peanut butter has carbs in it. For dinner, I had steak, a tiny amount of broccoli, nuts and avocado, followed by the world's smallest amount of Greek yogurt and raspberries. So I just weighed myself this morning and I've actually already lost 3 pounds. So I'm really intrigued to see how much weight I will lose this week. However, let me just quickly clarify that the reason you lose so much weight so quickly on the keto diet is for every gram of carbohydrate that you consume, your body will store 3 to 4 grams of water. So by cutting out carbohydrates, your body starts eliminating all this excess water it has from carbohydrates, so you're essentially just losing water weight. Also, the size of the portions I ate yesterday were a lot smaller than the voluminous meals that I usually eat, so a lot less food in my stomach. But one more factor that may make the rest of this challenge difficult was my sleep last night was absolutely horrendous. I have no idea if it's anything to do with the diet or just a complete coincidence, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Day 2 and 3 were pretty similar to day 1. I ate pretty much the same meals as I'm lazy and I can't be bothered spending hours figuring out what else to eat. As well as my poor sleep, I was having a hard time with my daily cups of tea, with the introduction of the lowest carb keto milk I could find, almond milk, which I don't think I'll be having again after this challenge. So day 4, and we're officially past the halfway point, and my body's decided to celebrate by finally entering ketosis. OGs to the channel remember these keto strips from my water fast video, and we can see my journey over the past couple of days. I actually don't feel any benefits at the moment. I don't feel any mental sharpness or clarity, but we're still early days yet, so hopefully that's to come. However, I do find these keto strips motivating. It's good to see that your body is making changes and that we're heading in the right direction. On day 5, I went to play tennis with a friend, and I should mention that during the week I've still been strength training and doing cardio, and my energy levels have been fine. However, I have noticed my recovery has not been as good, though this is probably due to my sleep being disrupted this week and not the no carbs. Day 6 was pretty uneventful. Spent most of the day packing and organising and getting ready to move house at the end of the week. Right guys, this is my last meal on the keto diet. It's pretty much the same thing I've had every day. It's 200 grams of yogurt with 50 grams of raspberries and then as much peanut butter as I can fit on top. I haven't really filmed much last few days because I've actually been struggling, but I've just been craving like fruits so bad. And I know I've got raspberries here, but it's such a little amount. My body is just craving, my mouth just feels dry, and I'm looking forward to this being over. It's actually been more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to finish this, and then tomorrow I'll share all my results over the past week, the good, the bad, my transformation, and whether I'll be sticking with keto. So see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's been a few days since I finished the keto diet and I'm finally ready to share my final thoughts. And I quickly just want to share the reason that I wanted to try this diet out in the first place. And that is because I've got quite a few friends and even family members who are doing the keto or even the carnivore diet, and they won't stop harping on about how amazing they feel. So I thought I had to at least see what all the fuss is about. So let's start with the positives of the keto diet, and the first one has to be that it's extremely satiating. To make this challenge fair, I wanted to keep my calories at maintenance for the week, as I didn't want to feel all tired and sluggish and blame the keto diet, but in reality I've been in a massive calorie deficit. However, eating 3,000 calories on the keto diet was actually really difficult, and if I'd eaten to satiation, I think I'd have only eaten about 2,000 calories a day. To eat 3,000 calories and not go over 50 grams of carbs a day, I was literally eating bags of nuts and spoonfuls of peanut butter. I actually ate a kilo of peanut butter during the challenge, which I think is quite impressive. So if you're someone who is always hungry and never satiated, this diet will definitely curb your hunger, and I can see why people get such great weight loss results using this diet. I also find cutting out carbs specifically for breakfast that I find myself a lot more focused throughout the day, and I don't get any hunger pains and have more sustained energy, and that is something I've continued to do even since the challenge is finished. Now on to the negatives. Although the diet is very satiating, it's also very restrictive, especially trying to find snacks that aren't meat and eggs. Also, my sleep was terrible the whole week I did keto, very similar to when I do my water fasting. Something about getting into ketosis seems to really just mess with my circadian rhythm. However, since incorporating my beloved oatmeal back into my life, my sleep has returned to normal. And for those of you who don't know, oatmeal contains an amino acid called tryptophan, which helps the body produce serotonin and melatonin. So it's basically Mother Nature's sleeping food. Also, I thought my training was alright when I was doing keto. However, since I've reintroduced carbs, I've realised that my training is better with carbs. My energy feels more sustained and the pump's a lot better, and we all know how important the pump is. You could argue that if I'd stuck to the diet for a little bit longer, maybe 30 to 60 days, my body would become fat adapted and my performance would improve. However, as I saw such little benefits throughout the week, and sticking to this diet is such a massive commitment that I couldn't even imagine sticking to it for a few more weeks, let alone the rest of my life. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, my transformation. Now, I lost 3 pounds on the first day, and then that was it. And that was due to the fact I was eating my maintenance calories all week. But I was under the illusion that depleting my body of carbohydrates would dry my body out and make me look a bit freaky, but I just look the same. Overall, I think people see amazing results with these diets, not due to the diet itself, but due to the diet's restrictiveness. With this diet, you're not only cutting out carbs, but also sugars and pretty much any processed food, especially if you stick to the diet properly. So what I've learned from this diet is I think it's more important to focus on eliminating junk food and processed food from our diets than a whole entire macronutrient. But let me know what you think.